The Crit Show contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hey, you guys want to be borrowers with me?
Yes, a cup of sugar and 2 eggs, please.
I've heard
Not a gross.
Neither a borrower nor a lender be.
I've heard that taking on unnecessary debt is a bad idea. So no.
But that character in Hamlet gave pretty terrible advice, actually. So.
That's true.
Well, I don't know anything about that. What I do know is that I like small versions of things that are normally regular sized and big versions of things that are normally small sized.
Oh, you would love my dogs then, because they are small versions of things that are normally big.
Is that why you like me, Megan?
I want to do like a littles, like a borrower kind of outfit for Gen Con.
Oh.
There's this TTRPG that I found called Household that's all about littles, they called them, little folk, and out of like European folklore. And there's all different like subtypes, but they just have like the coolest weapons and armor, and it's all like the entire house is like each room is a country. It's so neat. And I've already started working on my props. And so I need you guys to get on my level and join me in this.
What is your prop?
So like my main prop that I'm working on right now is like a big pair of scissors, but then if you like took it apart so you only had one half of it and then like use that as a sword. And then I'm gonna have like a big shield that's like a button. That's as far as I've gotten. Because we'll see if I can get even that done in time.
Okay.
But there's other cool stuff like you take a key and make it into like a gun, like a key skit, like a musket key skit.
Oh, like part of it's you hollow it out.
Yeah, and it's got like the little sight or the little like trigger part of it. It looks pretty cool. And then like a rapier or like a longsword or something that's like a clock hand or a bolt that's just like a big warhammer.
I think I get what you're saying. So like I'm going to wear an extra big hat.
Yes.
Okay.
If that calls to you.
Like a 20-gallon hat.
Yeah. Just like a real big hat. Because it's a big version, right? Of a normal size thing. Was that the one?
No, not exactly. But now I've got this idea of you wearing like a really big hat, and I don't want to discourage you from that.
What if
it just looks like a hat just moving around on the floor?
Yeah. What if it's such a big hat, and then I kind of like poke armholes and eye holes in it, and it's like a mech suit.
And then you just look like the Arby's mascot.
Oh, no.
That's not going to fly because Megan fucking hates the Arby's sign that looks like a big hat.
Those are this is the dumb that I know this. When you see those are antiques. There's only like I think 25 of them left in circulation, and they have to scavenge the other ones to keep those still working. The Arby's that I worked at forever still has one of the original ones.
There's one right down the street from us. See, it's not bad. It's a beautiful antique.
Just looks awful.
It's a wonderful
I don't
piece
know
of
why
Americana.
I hate it. I hate it so much. It makes me so angry, and I don't know why.
I mean, same, but that's because I had
'cause
to
you worked
go
there.
there for yeah. Because I saw that stupid sign at 5:15 every weekend morning as I went to make the roast beef.
And then I went to Arby's.
I don't even know what that means. It horrifies me, though.
Okay, but yeah, are you in?
Yes.
What weapon family would everybody lean towards?
I like the idea of the keyskit. I feel like I'd need to see. Are there pictures of these things in that book?
Yeah, they have the quick start you can get.
Okay.
It looks pretty cool.
Tass always like if there's one thing I know about Tass, he loves like an upside down, like holding a blade pointing downwards. It seems like that'd be somewhere in your build.
Okay, what about like a giant mechanical pencil that I can actually press on the end and make giant lead come out?
I was just thinking about using mechanical pencil lead and like the eraser as like the basket hilt or something.
Oh, and just because I can see one in front of me here, I want the lid to like a salt or pepper shaker as a helmet.
Amazing.
Ooh.
You kind of look like a metal toad, like Toad from Mario, not like a frog.
Yes.
Kim, are you in?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as y'all might be able to help me out with the props, because I don't know if I can fit like a giant pair of scissors in my suitcase.
I'm pretty sure they'll catch you for that at the airport.
Yeah.
I have had the itch lately to like make a prop again. I haven't done it in so long.
I kind of just want a gigantic, like Swiss Army knife. I just pull out a knife.
But just you've got to hold the entire thing in like 2 arms in front of you like it's a bundle of firewood that you're trying to carry.
Maybe I'll make something and I'll just like ship it ahead of me.
Ooh.
So it'll just arrive at your place. Because the more that we're talking about this, my partner does like prop fabrication and stuff like that. So it's like the moment that we end this recording and I go tell them about what we're thinking, like they're going to start like drawing up costume sketches and like designs for whatever. Yeah. So, you know, I will not be making anything, but it will be made for me.
Okay, well, I have been thinking about this if you wanted to participate, if I needed to make something on your behalf. So
yeah, what are you thinking?
Let me know if I need to send over sketches or
okay,
or ideas.
Oh, got it.
What's that?
Pizza cutter.
That's good.
That seems too big compared to the other things you've been describing.
I don't know. Pair of scissors.
Yeah, like dollar store pizza cutter.
Yeah.
You get tiny ones. Oh, and then you could have it to where like you like carved it out so it's like serrated.
Yes.
Describing an Elden Ring weapon. That's a weapon in Elden Ring.
I've never played that, but that makes sense. Pizza cutters.
What
Elden
about
Ring.
like a mace or a flail that is a tea infuser?
Yes.
Oh.
See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I'm so excited.
If I didn't just hate tea with every fiber of my being.
Oh, and then you have like a little trigger that you can pull and it opens it up and like releases the tea.
I was gonna say that would be a great like if you made a fencing sword out of a needle or something and you had that as your
fencer's mask.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, we gotta go. I've got prop making to do.
Yeah, that's fair. Before we go, we do have a winner of the Critshow Creations contest.
Oh yes.
I know, and I will say off mic, we had Tass. Well, we didn't have Tass, but Tass called
We
rolling
made him.
it. Yeah, he was like, "I'll roll it." Just so happens that the winning submission was art of Tass. And
Feels rigged.
this was from John on our Discord. It is Cowboy World Tass with his golden revolvers.
And it's
And his
very
very
cool.
dreamy
And his-
eyes.
his-
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Piercing blue eyes.
Yes, so congratulations, John. I will be in contact with you momentarily in comparison to when you hear this
The moment you listen to this.
about your prize.
No matter what time you decide to hit play, I'll know.
call you.
I'm watching. At the top of the spike, the pale stranger's one hand down, but still armed and ready. Tass is down a gun. Megan's down a leg. Rev is disarmed. Kim, you are pinned into the dirt by your own knife. And you see Jumbo has been kind of trying to sneakily stay low, circle his way out to get around to you. And he like gets a hand on your arm and on the knife and starts trying to yank you free of the dirt. And he gets you loose.
Thank you.
I don't know what to do because I don't think I can get close to him without getting killed.
Can you get to Megan and make sure she's okay?
Yeah, if you can distract him. Or I guess somebody distract him. I think if he looks at me, I'm not going to make it.
Okay, hun, you're fine. 1, 2, 3, go.
He starts running.
Okay, and I want to put an image in the stranger's mind of Jumbo running the other way.
Okay, so since you are not trying to pull anything out of his mind, you are just trying to influence him, this is going to be much simpler. This is just going to be weird level 2. But you are going to take a -2 to the roll.
Okay. 8.
Jumbo starts to run, and you see sort of a double take from the stranger, and you see him go to draw with a hand that's not there anymore, and kind of like curse under his breath, and then he's got to rest the rifle in his left on like the stump of his right arm, which puts him aiming at the Jumbo that's not real. And he fires a shot into the nothing that just soars off and over the edge of the spike. Megan, you see Jumbo rush over to you, and he like kind of slides baseball style in the dirt to try and like body block you in case a shot was coming. He grabs you, and tries to stand up and lift you.
Careful, 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 careful. My leg.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. I can't. I can't walk. I can't do anything. Maybe just get me back behind the spider. The wall.
Well before you are finished with that thought, he's already running you in that direction. It seems like, just when you didn't have an instant answer, that was the best idea he had in mind too. So he starts running you back towards the crawler to try and get you to cover. Rev, a couple things have happened here, but in the time it has taken, you have kind of gained your second wind and feel able to act again. Is there anything you want to do?
What's this battle map look like?
You've got the Pale Stranger 70 feet in from the cliff's edge.
Yeah.
He advanced a little bit when he got out of his trap and walked the wave towards you all. You've got the crawler kind of on its side, right on the edge. Megan and Jumbo making their way towards it. You are a bit to their left and a little bit further from the edge of the cliff. Kim is a ways to your left, back near one of the runes. Tass is kind of right on the line between him and the vehicle, having moved up a little bit to engage.
I want to use my other hand to start making a circle in the dirt. And I want to recreate Silas's spring trap glyph.
Okay. Are you trying to remain incognito while you do this?
I don't think so. No, I got to go with my first thought. I don't think so, because I'm hoping... I won't say what I'm hoping. No, I'm not.
That was a ride.
Yeah, I have to go with what, yeah.
Smart move. Save it for the success.
Yeah.
Megan's like, never tell the GM what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Never tell the dice what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
On what scale do you want this trap to operate? How big of a trap are you making? Like, just big enough to grab him?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll go with weird level 3, because you're trying to affect a creature your own size. And you're going to take a -2 on this one.
9. I'm going to spend a point of grit. Man, I'm the Arcanist. I do magic.
All right. You start tracing this glyph in the dirt, and the stranger looks over at you and starts walking in your direction, just kind of upright and calm. Boy, I would love to assume that you are replacing the one that y'all damaged, and if that is the case, I will be mighty in your debt.
I think I just keep working on it. Like, I don't look up and respond to him.
Okay. Tass, you see him start walking towards Rev, and Rev seems to be working on something in the dirt. They are clearly aware of each other, but neither of them seems to be, breaking stride. What do you want to do?
I mean, the impression I've gotten is that I need to shred him down as much as I can. So now I think I'm going for the elbow on his good arm, the one with his hand.
Okay. Give me a shoot roll.
Okay.
And this is going to be -2.
Okay. With a -2, that is an 11.
Woo.
With your remaining gun, you shoot his elbow of his left arm, and that arm from the elbow down kind of falls limp. The rifle is still in his hand, almost as if it rigor mortised around it. It's not letting go of the gun, but the barrel of the rifle is just kind of dragging in the dirt. But he still does not break stride. He just keeps walking towards Rev. It seems like Rev has his curiosity, and that's the most interesting thing going on up here right now. Oh, God. Megan, Jumbo gets you behind cover. The two of you are able to post up behind one of the carts of the octopus crawler. He kind of sets you up with your back against one of the seats and pulls out his gun and is posted over it next to you, keeping watch. He says, "Don't worry, I'm going to keep an eye on you, okay? You just rest."
If you take my bow and arrow here, they were blessed back at the church. I think he's some form of undead, if not a vampire. So these are holy. They should do more against him than the bullets you have there.
Jumbo looks at the bow and the arrows on the ground like Larry David. He's looks sad and is shaking his head. He's like, "Oh hell, I don't know the first thing about how to use either one of these." But he picks up the quiver and loosens it substantially, puts it over his shoulder, picks up the bow and kind of plucks at the string a couple times like a harp, and then knocks an arrow and kind of leans out from behind this cart, planning to do his best. Kim, you can see that Jumbo has gotten Megan to safety. Despite Tass pestering the stranger, it is still advancing on Rev, who seems, I don't know, not unperturbed, but literally unmoved by that fact. What do you want to do?
So, correct me if I'm wrong. The shortest distance from where I am to the vehicle is on Rev's side of the spire.
You would have to pass Rev to get back to the vehicle.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to be very low and very quiet and go a somewhat indirect way, like behind the pale stranger and out of his sightline, back to the vehicle.
Okay. Why don't you use a skill with stealth?
Am I taking a negative here?
You are. You're going to take a -2.
7.
You start creeping the long way around, and you're watching him as he advances. And he's going to get to Rev before you, get around him and back to the vehicle. And you see there's just, a pause in his movement as you are sneaking around. He doesn't turn. He doesn't look at you. It just seems like he's got, a sense that something is going on. He seems to have something akin to a spider sense. He just seems to be aware of shit that's going on, even if he's not, directly consciously aware of what's going on. So he doesn't look at you. He doesn't clock you specifically. You don't think that he knows you're sneaking around behind him. He just seems to, get a scent on the air that something's weird, but it's not enough to stop him. He continues walking towards Rev.
Okay.
Rev, he gets to a point where he's about 15 feet away from you as you complete this glyph. But you can see, he's just walking with one arm dragging next to him. The other arm, he's gesticulating with, but there's no hand on it. But he is kind of pointing in your direction. Would you like to show the class your work?
So you said that I would finish this once he got close. I think I want to finish the last rune that will start the timer, and then I want to start, I'm imagining this circle between him and I, and so on my side of it, I want to start doing other just nonsense runes so that it looks like I'm doing something, and I want to try to provoke him to step into it and scuff out what I'm currently doing.
Okay. I think this is going to be use a skill with bluff deceive, and again, you're going to take a -2 on it.
Okay. 9. And I want to invoke my twist that I try to disguise my abilities. So I want to try to make it look like I'm hiding this last part from him to make it seem urgent that he interrupts it.
Okay. Spend your point of grit. That'll bump you up to a full success. He marches the last few feet in your direction, and as he takes a step where it's clear that he plans to lift his boot up and try to stomp, that foot lands in the circle, and this trap springs up around him, and he is locked in place.
Oh, God. I don't know how long this is going to hold him. I felt like we could use a breather.
Whoa, what the hell? What'd you do?
Silas taught it to me right before he died.
Will something break it if, something moves quickly, say, through the air, through it?
I have no idea. I only saw him use it once, and it did keep a physical thing from passing through.
The stranger is standing in this dome just kind of looking around, smiling, a little bit bemused.
I'm going to get up and limp over to the vehicle just so that I'm by it and sit on it.
Yeah, I think taking that in, I'm going to just turn and sprint back to Megan.
Yeah, full sprint to the vehicle.
Okay.
As I slide down, getting out my stuff next to Megan, getting out my med kit. Hey, how long does that thing last, do you think?
Can I tell, when Silas used this, I don't know if it ran out. I don't know if he dispelled it. We kind of scared the mole away that he put it around.
If I'm remembering right, Silas dispelled it because you came up with the way to scare it away, and it fled, and that wasn't necessary anymore. So I think there is no absolute limit on when this will expire. If it meets a lot of resistance, and depending on what form that resistance takes, if somebody just sat inside of it and never did anything, probably never go down.
Sure.
Considering the condition of the stranger right now, got no hands and can't use guns, and unless there's something he's capable of that you all don't know, it seems like you can't do much about it except kick at it.
I'm not entirely certain. What kind of time are you looking for?
Enough time to see to Megan here at least for a moment and figure out what we're going to do about him. And I'm getting out gauze and everything. I'm just getting ready to try to clean this bullet wound.
Okay. Since she's not mortally wounded, this doesn't require the heal roll. But like we did with Kim, you can just use a skill with medicine.
Okay. 9.
All right. You get it patched and kind of stabilized and splinted, such that it's certainly not going to get any worse. It'll start improving. I think you also notice that just to your eye, her rate of healing is a little bit accelerated. And I think any of you who have taken damage noticed the same. Kim had noticed when you were right up on the ley line, like it was quick. You're all still standing at the top of a mountain that is full of powerful ley line energy. It was enough to seep out and corrupt the whole fucking world when it was sick. It's enough to seep out and do a little bit of healing for you all now.
Whoa. With that thought, I want to whirl around and see if the same thing is happening to the stranger.
Yeah, as you look over at the stranger, he's got that stump hand up and he's like touching the bubble, like what's got him trapped. And I mean, like his hand's not like coming back. It's not like Deadpool. He doesn't have like a baby hand or anything. But I think you notice the first gunshot wound that you put in him. It does seem to be closing. It seems to be significantly smaller. And he doesn't seem to have necessarily noticed that. But like, again, you know that each wound isn't affecting him in any particular way. It's just like the total damage. So, he hadn't noticed it when it was a fresh bullet hole. He doesn't seem to be noticing it now that it's less than that.
All right. Our buddy here's getting a little bit of a slow heal as well.
How does the, healing boost properties of this place affect the condition that I'm in right now?
So, Megan, this is going to, bump the harm move up as if you'd rolled a mixed success. You're going to just take your -1 on going to body rolls. You're going to be able to act. It's going to take a short rest to heal.
Okay.
Goddamn. Good work, everybody. Holy shit.
Oh, thanks, Tass. Thank you so much. This is my favorite leg.
I thought that.
Now I'm going to try to stand up on it.
I'll help her up.
Get my bow back from Jumbo.
Oh, thank God.
He had just finished knocking an arrow.
We can't just leave him in there. We have to dispose of him, right? I mean, if he gets out of that, then he's just going to go hunting like he likes doing.
Yeah, I don't know, but you've been shooting him something fierce, and he's not dying.
Yeah, he is like, that undead guy I shot down in the town, and, I shot him in the head, but he got back up, right? Like, there's just a point where you have to shred them down to nothing. And this is the case. This seems to be the case. I seriously doubt regular bullets would do anything. So what's this little spell do? If I shoot through it, is he free?
I think that if you shoot it, especially with like a magic or a holy bullet, it probably will break it.
Uh-huh.
Can you modify it, Rev?
Maybe to do what?
Well, if we take something that's blessed, that's holy, can you kind of infuse that into this spell? Kind of put him in a sickness bubble, something that would cause him harm to be exposed to it, not just contained by it.
Yeah, I mean, this whole place is a giant dome. We just broke one piece. We could fix that piece and somehow attach your gun, the holiness of the gun to it, and just make this whole place.
I was just thinking about this before too, but I'll pull out a couple arrows out of my quiver. These were blessed. Harrison blessed them back when the horseman was coming to attack. If you wanted to use these, they have that energy stored in them. I think pairing that with magic would do a lot more good here than just trying to shoot him with them.
No, that's probably a good idea, because now that we know your soul is somehow connected to those guns, I probably shouldn't try to route those into a magic spell.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, can I try to figure out a way to take Megan's arrows and essentially fix the rune that we have marred so that it brings the barrier back, but that it's channeling this holy energy?
Yeah, so you're trying to study these arrows and determine how you can use them or if you can use them.
And even the now marred rune.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you roll plus mind plus investigate?
That I would love to do. 15.
Woo!
Damn.
So you sit down, you start kind of studying these arrows, studying the runes that line the spike, and the connection pretty quickly comes to you between this and the clean room. That you had already set up a space that is, sort of there to purge sinister magics, evil effects, is going to be really similar. I don't think you think this is going to be that tall of an order, really. The hard part is just going to be powering back up a spell circle this big. You're not going to have any trouble fixing the rune. You're not going to have any trouble rerouting the magic, but you're going to have to somehow pull all that big bad ley line energy and get this motherfucker fired back up.
Yeah, I mean, using the principles that we kind of made for the clean room, it's just kind of adding a bit to that. The issue is going to be jump-starting the thing again. All the pieces are in place, and I can fix this one with what you've provided, but it's a matter of the sheer power he must have used to start this thing.
Maybe we can use your, structured spell casting to funnel it up here, but I can try and, tap in to that life energy that's in there and coax it forward. And, if we just all kind of hit those points again, maybe it'll be easier for us to match whatever it is Nash can do. I hate that it takes 3 of us to be able to accomplish what he can just walk in and do without breaking a sweat, but if that's what it takes.
Yeah, so I want to start basically making another circle to try and channel some of this energy out of the ley line. And I think part of it is putting Tass in the circle with his gun and Silas's gun, because Silas's gun is made to channel this magic.
Okay.
And apparently I'm made of ectoplasm from this place. So, it seems like a good...
And unto ectoplasm you shall return.
The ley line will recognize its baby.
Just as he starts firing the gun, we realize that bullet-sized chunks are disappearing from his corporeal body.
No.
All right. You all set to work. And as you're working, you hear a voice from off in the distance from within a bubble. Hey, this sucks.
Yeah, it's going to suck a lot worse soon.
Why? What are you doing?
We're going to dance for you.
This is a really inauspicious end. I don't care for it one bit. Can I convince you to, duel or
No.
something?
No, we tried a few different ways, and you didn't like any of those ways.
He's been pitching the duel all day.
It's got to be a game of blood.
How are you at violin? We could do a double it down to Georgia situation. I'm the best you've ever seen.
I am dog shit. Well, you know what? I can't honestly say that I ever picked up a violin in my life. I have to assume.
I just look at him and go, I don't think you're gonna either.
Please don't taunt him until this works.
I hate this. You all seem like good, honorable people. You just gonna put down a caged animal like this?
No, we're just going to recage you.
And make it so no birds can get in either. Rev, add that to the list. Add that to the list of spell requirements.
Add that to the
Nope.
runes.
Add that rune in.
It's going to take 15 days now.
You see that I just draw
He just writes no birds allowed.
just an M like a seagull.
Just the little 2-line V birds
Yeah,
with a circle
exactly.
and an X through it.
Rev's like, oh, you open this can of worms. Okay, so birds are actually magically extremely complex.
Yeah, because of their hollow bones. They can super channel magic.
Oh, good. Well, we've got a lot of those lying around here. You should be able to use those to
true.
spell.
They're like ambassadors. They have immunity. Technically, they're in international airspace, so the laws of magic don't apply to
The laws
them.
of man and magic do not apply.
Listen, I don't think that Tass would be against dueling you, but you seem to get shot in the head and it doesn't matter, so it's not really a fair fight.
Well, no, that's kind of why I want to do it, because I'm pretty sure I would win. And look, can't you respect the honesty in that? Isn't that enough to grant me a second chance?
No, but it is certainly enough to grant you a peaceful end.
So, over the course of crafting this spell, you see him trying. He kicks at the dome a little bit. He turns around, so he's got his spurs against it and is trying to, maybe he can carve a hole in it or something. But Tass had literally disarmed him. There doesn't seem to be anything he can really do. He wiggles so that a shotgun shell falls out of his bandolier, and he stomps on it real hard in the hopes that maybe it'll go off or explode. But he is simply helpless. So, I guess all of you are participating in this, huh? I mean, being on such a massive scale, the chart only goes up to 7, and that's a creature the size of a locomotive. Now, this is not a creature, but it is many locomotives. So I think we're going to go with weird level 7.
Okay.
No additional negatives. The stranger seems to not be able to have an effect on this.
9.
8.
11.
All right.
Okay. Rev, what's this look like?
I think the last moment is holding up the last of Megan's arrows and snapping it into the circle so that energy goes in, and it's almost like just a pillar of light comes up from underneath Tass as Megan and myself and Kim all stand around this circle, and that you see the runes on Silas's gun just flare up, and the glow from Tass's golden gun just get brighter and brighter as he starts to fire into the circle.
And you see this co-opted rune sort of activate and just spreads out around the ring. Very quickly beyond where you can see around the entire perimeter of the spike. And nearby you hear a groan from the stranger inside the bubble. like he's got an upset tummy. He's just, oh, well, we had a good run. I thought I was going to get y'all. I did. You just going to leave me here now, or?
No, I don't think we should. And I'm going to just get right up to the edge of the bubble.
Can you shoot through that?
I think if I do, it'll let you out. And I think that's okay, because you can't leave here anyway, and we can't leave you here. So, I can't give you your big gunfight, your showdown, but we will certainly tell your story when we leave.
Well, that ain't nothing.
Come on, what do you want us to call you? I'm inclined to just go with Lucky.
I don't know, that sort of makes me sound like a dog. But I suppose ultimately that's up to you. I don't have a name. I would not deign to give myself one. I wish you hadn't shot my hand off. I want to at least draw down on you. I know I can't shoot through the bubble, but I'm going to anyway, though. If nothing else, I'm going to be faster than you before I die.
I don't doubt you. Do you need a count?
Nah.
I draw and shoot.
His stump of a hand goes down to where his holster is and grabs nothing and raises at you, but you fire and the bubble shatters and the bullet tears through where his heart should be. And the last thing you see is just the smile on his face before he drops to his knees and falls face down in the dirt.
Jake, you are at the site of the previous IPT shuttle launch. You have set up traps with the assistance of Patty Early, and you have put out information to draw this other version of yourself to the location. The sky has darkened, lightning has struck, and he is now standing on the launch pad, his eyes moving around the vicinity looking for the threat.
I'm going to put on my realistic monkey mask and turn into a monkey.
Okay.
And then I just want to, monkey out there to where he is, hop up on the edge of the launch pad nearby.
The movement attracts his attention, and he spins and points the hammer, but nothing happens. And then he kind of puts a hand on his hip. Hey there, little fella.
Hello.
He takes a very long pause. Did you just talk to me?
I did.
Are you the threat? Is this going to be like you transform into a big King Kong kind of thing and fight me?
No, it's not going to be anything like that.
I feel like that's exactly what a monster that was going to do that would say.
Well, what are the odds that the monster can both go from a little monkey into a giant King Kong and is clever enough to try to lie to you about it? They just seem like disparate concepts, don't they?
Roll manipulate someone.
Okay. Oh no, that's Snake Eyes.
No, I don't think those are entirely separate concepts. We've dealt with a lot of really intelligent monsters who try to prey on my desire to help people, and I feel like looking cute might be a good start to try to distract me. And he starts thumping his hammer in his other hand.
Would it make you feel better to encapsulate me in some way so that I don't know, can't get bigger or am exactly where you expect me to be? I just want to talk to you.
All right, well, talk.
You're Jake, right? You're the famous, very impressive, very muscular, handsome, supernatural crime fighter of sorts, right?
He seems very uncomfortable with all of the compliments.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anyone else here?
I'm going to be honest with you. There is. He's not very close, though. He's way off in the trees, and he's just kind of here to, make sure neither of us turns on the other.
Like, what, like an impartial sniper?
He's not even sniping. He's just he's basically got a big net. It's not even like he'll kill one of us. He'll just, slow one of us down.
Oh, all right.
I've been watching your more recent exploits, and I can see that you've been doing a lot of great stuff, which is exactly what I'd expect from you. I feel like I've also noticed some things that are a little out of character, and I wanted to talk to you about them, but I don't know if you're even gonna know what I'm talking about.
Is this are you like Jiminy Cricket? Are you real? And he starts to walk towards you.
I won't move.
He pets you.
Yeah, I'm real. Hell man, I'll be your Jiminy Cricket.
Well, I mean, that's just what it feels like, the whole out of character stuff watching me. Well, what do you mean?
Well, do you remember a week ago when you were throwing cars around?
I mean, I threw some cars at some monsters. I kind of assume now that everyone has comprehensive insurance.
Sure, and I'm not sad for the cars. Tell me about the monsters. What do you remember about them? What were you throwing the cars at?
Well, there was this centipede thing that was coming out of the sewers, and it was taking them to its lair, so that it could leave them by the eggs that it had laid, because I guess the eggs hatch and they have to eat right away. And a couple of them hatched after I killed the, I don't want to say mom. That makes it feel like I did a bad thing.
Yeah, pretty dark.
Yeah, but after the big one was dead, some of the little ones hatched, and so I was throwing the cars at them, trying to squash them before they got away, because I guess those things are pretty territorial, so they'll go to other locations and do the exact same thing this one was doing, so it would spread pretty quick.
Do I have any evidence of any of that having actually transpired? Like, people saw him do this thing. Was there anything about the remains of centipedes or anything?
Yeah, so the story that you had read, that first part is true, that there was a creature coming out of the sewer, taking people, eggs. There's no proof that any of those eggs hatched. It seems like they were all destroyed after the, I also don't want to say mother, but after the...
If you add brood to the beginning, the brood mother.
The brood mother was dead.
And yet I don't get any impression that he's deceiving me.
Correct.
I say, the monkey.
Yeah.
That's strange, because when cleanup crews arrived on the site, none of the eggs had hatched, and the cars hadn't smashed anything, at least nothing alive, just property damage. I think something might be manipulating your perception.
Like the worm had like telepathic abilities or something?
I don't think it was the worm. You remember when you sunk that boat in the Gulf?
Yeah.
Why? What do you remember?
I remember there were these guys made out of almost barnacles, and they were clinging to the hull, and they were draining the life force out of anyone who got onto the ship. But they were, like barnacles, stuck to the hull.
But on that one, they weren't clinging to the hull. Radar and seismographs show that they retreated. They fell back, yet you destroyed the ship anyway.
You notice that his right eye twitches a little bit.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm okay. I'm just confused, I guess. I've got a monkey who like tricked me to coming into the jungle, and he's telling me that some of the monsters that I fought, maybe one of them's controlling me or something, and he's got an emotional support sniper.
I mean, yeah, that's all pretty weird when you lay it out like that. And yet, like, not the weirdest thing you've probably encountered in the last couple of years, huh?
Yeah, that's why I let you talk.
Yeah.
I've had stranger things that I've agreed to let talk, and they kind of pointed me in the right direction, so.
Here are my hypotheses so far.
Okay.
1, you might be getting Manchurian candidated.
He pauses for a moment, furrows his brow, like someone's activating me somehow.
Maybe, like what you said, like maybe something is controlling you that, I don't know, something's like putting you into a fugue state.
Can we say, I think that it'll roll, can we say Winter Soldiered? I feel like that rolls off the...
Yeah,
okay.
You're getting, somebody might be Winter Soldiering you.
Yeah, that makes it sound more dangerous and kind of cooler.
Yeah, but it's not cool.
No.
I don't want it to
not at all.
sound cool.
Yeah.
This is why they stopped allowing Joe Camel to be in advertisements. Like, you can't make a cool thing out of a bad thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Manchurian.
No, I'm going to stick with Winter Soldiered because it's hard to say candidated, and I don't know if it's a real word.
Yeah, Maraschino
cherry.
Is this what you feel like it would be to have a conversation with yourself? Like, I'm really trying to hit comedic beats.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It really depend on just like kind of what mood I was in.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not every day that I could put up with me. So my other thought, I don't want this to sound reductive or anything. You might be sort of like a time remnant.
His eyes glass over, and the film that you kind of see over his eyes, when I say glassed over, I don't necessarily mean just gone blank. It's almost like you see a dull current of electricity running over both of his eyes, and he just starts to raise the hammer.
I don't know exactly the question I'm trying to ask here.
Yeah.
Like, does it read as a magical effect that is washing over him, as opposed to, say, like a psychological effect?
So I think your moment here is brief, but I'm going to ask you to investigate a mystery. It almost feels like read a bad situation because the situation has turned ugly, but the questions don't quite match up right.
Yeah, I know the situation is bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of trying to look inward from that and like see the nitty gritty, like, you know, look past the miasma of badness and see the details of how or why. Damn, that's a 6.
As you take a moment to peer at this other version of yourself, you see the electricity crackle through his eyes. He starts to raise the hammer, and you're trying to get a sense of what is going on with them. And you feel all of the hairs on your monkey body start to stand up on end. And I think the thought that comes into your head is that this is some kind of magical defense mechanism, that there is something going on with this entity that kicks it into auto when something compels it to come up against the idea that it is not actually Jake, and that it then builds a story in his head to justify the last few moments of action. And that idea dawns on you as the lightning strikes.
The Critshow is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritShow.